afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome back to Extra Innings. I am your host, William Suttle, and I'm here with Chris Meyers. He plays first base for the Erie Seawolves, Double-A affiliate of the Detroit Tigers. How you doing today, Chris?
Doing really good.
Awesome. Glad to have you on. First time on the show. He is from Miamisburg, Ohio, and went to the University of Toledo. So kind of just picking up, from your young career. Back in high school, you decided to sign with Toledo. What made you decide that Toledo was going to be the best choice for your career?
I think it was a good opportunity just from the standpoint of them telling me that I was going to play as soon as I got there. I think, that's huge. Not having to, have a couple of years of development, waiting behind, just getting my feet wet right away. I think was big. There's a couple more places, a lot of MAC schools that are interested. A little bit of a late bloomer, so I actually didn't really get my height and all that size and my size until like middle to end of my junior year. So, like I said, it was a little bit of a late bloomer. Toledo, when they talking to all the coaches, I actually had two different coaching staffs while I was there, but the first coaching staff who got me, Corey Neal, who's actually at Western now, Western Michigan. Loved him. Loved the assistant and the hitting coach, Nick McIntyre. He was great. I think he knows a lot about hitting, and that kind of what drew me the most. So,
and which is fascinating to hear, because a lot of people say, when the new coaches come in, everybody leaves because then they bring in their crop, cream of the crop, and then just, hearing about how you're a late bloomer and it, came on late. It's just so fascinating because, it's just a part of your story.
Yeah.
And kind of what got you to where you were. And, the MAC, in my opinion, obviously doesn't get the love as a Power 5, but the MAC produces really well at every level in every sport. So it's great to see that somebody from the MAC's able to be successful, take that route that I didn't go Power 5, but I still made it to where I wanted to be.
Right.
And then now looking at draft day, you get drafted by the Tigers. It is obviously probably one of the best days of your life. And you kind of just walk me through what that day was like, who you're with, and then just the emotion of, hey, I'm now a Detroit Tiger.
Yeah. So I had some of my friends come down, from college, from Toledo. I had some my friends from Ironburg. I was at my house, back at home, family, both sides, grandparents, stuff like that. So it wasn't crazy big, but it was, it was my people and they were there with me. So that's always great, being around people that care about you most. It was an exciting day. I mean, finger food, stuff like that, and just hanging out. Some stress involved, right? The emotions of it and all that stuff. But overall, the experience was great. You can't be, like I said earlier, you can't be mad about being around the people that you love on your most memorable times of your life. So.
Oh, yeah. And it's one of those things where obviously, you wish you could have been drafted right away. Just get it over with. But, just sitting there knowing that it's eventually coming and it does, and you're just like, wow, all that hard work, it finally paid off.
I didn't think the waiting period would be as stressful as it was, but it kind of felt like forever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. It probably felt like a whole year or something. You're like, is it my turn? Is it my turn? Like, can you just pick me already? I want to get this over with and celebrate.
But no, it was good. It was great.
And then, being with the Tigers now, being with them for, a couple seasons now, how important or how pivotal have the Tigers been in your young development? Obviously being a late bloomer, you developed in high school, you did all the hard work at Toledo, and now with the Tigers, how have they helped, shape you and get you to be a better person than you were the day before?
Well, I think there's a lot of different things. From the playing aspect, my first opportunity outfield, so first and outfield, was as a professional player. Like I never played outfield, maybe when I was young a couple times, but learning the game in the outfield, as well as first, picking up on little things, from even the IQ of learning more about the game itself of baseball. I think just being a professional baseball with the Tigers has helped me a lot. Kind of developing different approaches, for different pitchers. Earlier in your amateur career as a hitter, I feel like it's pretty easy just to go with one approach overall.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of developing what works for me, different approaches at the plate, kind of being able to pick up on how pitchers are throwing you a little bit quicker, instead of just kind of, it's hard in general to guess at the plate, so you kind of have to be consistent, and kind of being able to stick with a plan and have multiple different plans for different types of pitchers. Because even college, high school, and college, you don't really need a lot of plans. A lot of it's you're getting the same kind of pitcher.
Yeah, it's kind of that cut, dry, simple. We're going straight ahead, and at these levels, you're going to face every pitch, including the pitching seam.
Yeah.
And also with the whole Tigers farm system, you start in Lakeland, beautiful weather, always high, and then you got to go shoot up north, where when you start the season, you're freezing.
Right.
So that aspect of always changing and the approaches definitely gets you ready, for any kind of thing that gets thrown.
Oh yeah. I mean Toledo's the same way. It was freezing cold in the beginning too, so I got a little bit of practice of that early. But yeah, I think pulling the ball is one of the things that I like. Growing up, I've always been an opposite field hitter, and I kind of do all my work going opposite field, and they kind of nudge me to kind of work a little bit more out in front of the ball, kind of get it on the full side in the air, to kind of unlock a little more power. And I still kind of struggle with that, just because it's been something that I've kind of just made myself. I've always wanted to go opposite field, and sometimes I get too much that way, and as much as I want to go opposite field, and I still train opposite field, it can get me in trouble sometimes just trying to, push it a certain way. So,
which is fascinating. You say that because, recently in baseball, we've had all the issues with the shift. Oh, everybody only pull. And it's fascinating to hear somebody actually say, no, I want to hit the opposite way.
Yeah.
Which is, I think if I were to talk to 10 hitters in a row, you'd be the one that says, yeah, I would rather hit opposite.
Yeah, it's just kind of what gets my body right. Gets me, gets my approach a little bit more locked in. It helps me stay, a little more disciplined to play, and then it helps my swing stay consistent. But when I do a little bit too much of it, I kind of get pushy, and kind of weak fly balls, opposite field. And so it's a little bit of give and take in that aspect, where kind of opening, not trying to pull it. I never try to pull a ball, but kind of get myself to get the barrel out a little bit farther to allow the opportunity to pull the ball, instead of trying to catch and keep and kind of just go the other way with it. So they've kind of, talked to me about that, open my eyes in that aspect of, it's okay to pull the ball. Because I don't want to pull the ball because it's going to get me to swing over balls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of learning with that, kind of find that even balance. That's been a great process for me trying to figure that out. So.
Which is great. They've been able to help you with that, and then to help you be able to hit from both sides, so that when the defense is aligned, they can't just say, "Oh no, it's only going to come at us one way." Yeah. Now with the pulling and obviously doing a little bit of both, you got to be prepared either side for where that ball's going to come.
Yeah.
And it's nice to hear that how pivotal some of these teams can help in your development and help you grow in areas where you didn't think you could grow. Absolutely. And then, so now looking at your most recent past season, you spent time with both West Michigan and Erie, and you were a part of the championship team last year. We spoke with Adam Wolf earlier about his time with Erie and his experience with the championship team. What was your take? You came in about towards the end of the season, you played in that playoff run. What was that like?
I mean, winning a championship is, it's not really, you can't say it's a bad time. I mean, It's an absolute amazing time. You especially with the fans in Erie and stuff like that, it was a great experience overall. I mean, the energy that's involved in a playoff run, the energy that's involved in a championship win is, you don't really find that in a lot of places.
Oh, no.
Winning's great in general. Nobody likes to lose. So being able to win the whole thing and end up at the end of the day, the last out being the winner of the season of Double A Eastern League is great. Yeah, it's hard to put into words the feelings you get from it, because it's very little that you kind of get those emotions. So.
And I guess really, if anything, it's just one of those where, I can't put it into words, but, if you just look at those photos from you guys, I think those photos say 1,000 words.
Oh, yeah.
Just the pure enjoyment and relief, and we did it.
Right.
Brought it on home.
And it makes it easy too. I mean, the guys on that team were awesome, and we were a great group of guys, and a lot of the guys this year are here too, and it's another great group. But it's always good when you have that team chemistry along with it that makes that experience that much better. So
For sure. And then last thing I want to leave you with, just because I've started to realize that you got everybody I talk to, you're more than just an baseball player. Monday is usually the universal day off, except for the past day because of the holiday week. On a normal day off for Chris, what are you doing? Any hobbies? Anything that maybe an instrument that you like to play, or anything that you do that makes you who you are?
Yeah, so I don't know necessarily have a specific hobby, but there's I kind of go with this. It's like I've always been interested in learning different things, trying to find different avenues or something to do something that I don't have as a human. And this year I think is learning Spanish, learning a different language, like finding different avenues, learning different things, whatever it is, just try to build character, build whatever I possibly can, to in the end get as much as I can out of this life. Having being able to speak two languages is super interesting.
And not many people, most people find that too hard.
Yeah.
Won't go through with it all, but that's
Right.
that's fascinating that you will take the steps to try to broaden your horizon.
Yeah, so I mean that and like energy is very huge for me. So just taking those rest days and being able to recover and stuff like that. So a lot of relaxation. If I can get outside, it's great. I love to get outside. And if it's that day, whatever, play some video games, just chill out as much as possible. But like I said, trying to find a different avenue, learn different things, do whatever I can to. Like I said, it's very early in the learning Spanish, and I'm having a great, I'm enjoying it a ton. So just do whatever I can.
Awesome. And that's so fascinating because, like I said, you're more than just a baseball player. Now, anybody watching this is going to get to know you as a human being, not just as somebody who suits up every day, goes on the field, hits balls, catches balls. But we thank you so much for your time. I was going to leave you with this being a Toledo grad. TOL.
DO.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
I
Chris.
appreciate it.